Hello. I want to take a trip down memory lane today and compare some legacy Daybreak maps to their current versions. Since Daybreak 1's final update, there have been a total of 6 maps added to the roster: Shifty Station, Purgeton, Dawnwood Pines, Gaikahara, Empire Finance, and
Costa de Cristalina.
however you pronounce that because I don't want to butcher or Americanize it. This also excludes Owen's Family Farm, as it was used as a tester map for Daybreak 2's improved mechanics. A lot of the legacy maps in Daybreak 1 have seen significant changes or overhauls in looping areas, and hoping that the old parts are still there in the legacy version that nobody plays, I will lightly yap about them today. So, what are we waiting for? Let's travel back in time. Now, you may be getting a lot of varying mic quality today between my phone microphone and my legitimate microphone, but God, I felt old going back into Daybreak 1 and seeing my capable imaginary friends, my capable host, my capable ghost, when they still had that nerf, by the way. Not only that, but seeing Overgrown in her prime. Oh my god, I'm so happy they didn't change anything. And so now, to my surprise, we got Cliff Mac. And I'm just kind of scrolling through my survivors here, and I'm like, do I play my Yvonne? Do I really want to run around and play as my Yvonne? But I'm like, now immediately upon playing around in this game, everything is extremely dark. Now keep in mind, I had graphics off for the majority of this, but off rip, it's really dark. Going back to Daybreak 1 veteranness, you actually walk over vaults. And just so you notably know, that vault back there was never there. That did not used to be there. And there's no generator back there either, and persistence is for some reason glitched. So now we're just gonna go straight on back. And as you look a little closer, yeah, no, that generator's not there whatsoever. And it's just this weird vault kind of right there. But at the same time, it's decent, I guess. And so now when we go over there, notice how that SUV car in that corner is not there? Which, honestly, I don't really know how to feel about that. I don't know if that's a good change or a bad change. But now when we come back here, see how that generator on that far end was moved inward toward the trees, and this entire chunk right here is completely empty, which is like absolutely insane. And this is actually a pretty weird loop right here. Like, it's good and extremely strong. I kind of miss it, but also at the same time, like, it makes the rest of that area mundane. And he reminded me of the trick survivors used to do back in the day, where they would go in a locker, killer would open it, they'd go in the locker and then lock the killer in. And now we also have that vault that's pushed over in, like, right beside the gen right there. And the loop right there is not changed, except the locker, well, not the locker, the generator itself was moved to a different position. Now the SUV at that drop at the blue fence right there is also no longer existing, which, I don't know. Like, they never broke down that fence right there until Daybreak 2. And we have the generator from out there pushed in here, which is like, it's like it was the safest and unsafest gen simultaneously, I feel like, because it was like a two-way in, but it was really difficult to get in. And one huge change is that fence in there isn't broken, and Kyle's trap radius is huge for some reason. Oh, the old Kyle days, and I don't know what I'm doing here. But yeah, that vault's normal, it's just that fence is like not broken in at all. For some reason, that loop's been made extremely long in Daybreak 1, to where, like, yeah, you have the cars completely blocking it, except for the one behind it, which was extremely odd, but I digress. And now when we go to Chlorophyll, there is a generator in Chlorophyll, but that loop is also very chunky, so it's kind of hard to run, especially because that generator and those two lockers are directly in front of there. I do remember getting teleported to at that gen specifically, though. And we have this chunk of empty space because the generator below rooftop is not there, and construction is extremely safe, which compared to now, construction is completely unsafe. Because look at how safe that vault is. That is practically one of the safest vaults in Cliffmac and Daybreak 1. Oh yeah, and persistence is fixed somehow. So when we go up to rooftop, there isn't really that many changes except the fact that there is a vault going down back towards construction at the very top. Or actually, my bad, there is not a vault going back towards construction. They broke the fence in between those two buildings, so if you were to drop down, you just run straight forward. Which, fair enough, I guess. And then we go back up here. Like I said, there isn't really anything different aside from that vault that is not there going towards construction and the fence being completely removed. Dropping down here, you can automatically see that there is a really safe vault on that right side of me right there that persistence is running around, and I low-key wish we had that back. I was arguing how it would probably just make that whole area an infinite or like a jungle gym, like a very minor one, and there is no generator on that side of the beach. And there's also an extra watchtower right there as we move down towards this area. And if you did not know, Daybreak 1 had a lot of crouch spots. So literally, I remember survivors going under the volleyball fence. Just like that. But that vault right there hasn't really changed. The only thing that changed is that you can no longer go underneath that. And now, when we come up here, that's what Miss looks like. That's what Miss used to look like, actually. So immediately we are hit with one big change. There is doodle fart coming out of the sewer pipe to the right, and this gen has been pushed further away from the door, actually. Aside from that, the loops over there didn't really change that much. Maybe a locker or two got placed there, but now going towards this way, they removed those lights, by the way. I jump scared myself because I forgot that that wall was completely blocked in Daybreak 1. Oh, it resurfaced some memories. But yeah, no, the new area where we have the new gate did not exist at all in Daybreak 1. That wall was completely patched. And so I spent a little bit of time getting this generator done so I didn't annoy anybody. And decided to explore this backside. Now, if you did not know, that door to the back actually used to be open. Right there, see? Yep, directly in front of me. So there were like 4 different ways you can enter and exit that room, which was kind of clinical, I'm not gonna lie. That generator also would move later to be a little more outward. And then I decided to come out here and, whoa, no gen right there. So many easy 3-genning possibilities. Oh my goodness. And there wasn't really that fencing that cut off your path over there. And I decided to go downstairs through that pipe to this side to where it was Virtuoso's Haven. There would be a generator right there near the underground tunnel. And right behind you is where the gen is now. Wow. Crazy stuff. And so now I decided to go more to the upper bridge where middle is to see if they have that generator underneath the middle pipe. And to my astonishment, they did not. There was no generator back there back in Daybreak 1. But the generator going towards the unsafe gate was still there. I don't know, I find that pretty interesting how stuff played out. And the generator closest to the gate is now in the muck downstairs. I said it with an M. I said it with an M, like googly goo. And now we go up here and notice how with that one generator right there, there's not one, but 2 in this same corridor, right? Except that one right there is more pushed towards a console, and this one is pushed towards a wall. That one hasn't moved, I don't believe. So that's wild. Good old Haverhill Hospital. There isn't that much stuff that changed at the top half aside from a few things, but going down here, I immediately noticed how that safe vault on the stairs is not there. It did not exist. And now we're gonna come downstairs, look around this area, and not really that much has changed either. That place has stayed the most consistent throughout. But down here at what I like to call Hexagon, That wall completely blocked. It was just one of the safest loops throughout the map. And down here in this kind of secluded corner also did not have a gen. It was just a bed with a cross up top. Wow! Making so much use of space. And then coming over to this safe vault area, very nice transition area, there is no locker right there. However, scaffolding and everything is pretty much the same as it's always been. This map has probably seen the least changes, if anything. And I tried to look for something up here because I vaguely remembered them updating it, but I couldn't find anything. Now, in this area, extremely safe vault. It was also a beautiful place for host traps back then, but nowadays that psych ward sign gen is up towards the front. The amount of things that changed in Lakeview High is honestly kind of astonishing. Immediately there's this one spawn I remembered off the dot that would be like guaranteed get you killed by the killer, where a generator used to be in this room to my right, and yep, it was there. Oh, that was like easiest gen to get out of the way. But then we come into this other area. That room hasn't really changed too much aside from maybe one loop addition or some desks move around. And this area is also the same case. Not too different at all. Bathrooms didn't change at all, as well as the room ahead of them. And as we go towards the cafeteria where that safe transition vault is, that back room is not there at all. The gen is in the complete middle, and it is simultaneously a safe and unsafe gen, but I'd honestly call it unsafe. But the runaround vault hasn't really changed. However, that drop down right there that I'm pointing and teabagging at was not there in Daybreak 1. Instead, there was an actual vault further down from that, and generally that upper area was just pretty overpowered. And now as we go down this way, that unsafe classroom hasn't really changed, nor has that vault to my left in that room over here I'm about to approach. Yep, that hasn't changed that much. Excuse me as I run away from the killer who has a broken head apparently. And we're gonna travel through this way because I was morbidly curious. He missed his knife. One little detail I'd like to note is that Slasher's knife used to have specific hit sounds when it missed that I really missed. This room was also completely different. Completely differently arranged, generator spots different, but it was just really weird. Now the outside area is completely barren. Like borderline completely barren. The only really vaults there is that one that used to have a tree to extend it, and the one further ahead of that. Now, I jump scared myself here, correct? Because before I dove in that room, there is no wall break right there. There is zero wall breaks there. The only thing that connected towards the outside from that area was the vault leaving the nurse's office, which is actually insane. But now as I try to go back towards the gym, hopefully not getting chased, there used to be a generator in the gymnasium. And the vaults were maybe arranged like the slightest bit differently, but they haven't really changed that much aside from being shortened. Locker rooms didn't change either, like at all. They're pretty much the same as they always been, which I find is a pretty funny little detail. How different you are. This map has actually seen the most changes, and immediately you can see how that ramp and that side door do not exist whatsoever right there where I was crouching. And so going in there, oof, you only have that door upstairs or the other door. There is no drop downs, there's no wall break, no nothing. Foul. I'll just tell you right now, this used to be an infinite. This area alone used to be an infinite in Daybreak 1, and if you could loop here consistently, killer would hate you. And so you can also see that that vault to go back downstairs, or not vault, drop down, is completely absent. And going towards this section, I don't recall there being any changes. I've never really found a use for that room, but there could have been a break-in that was added right there. And now as we go on our way towards cafeteria, I'm pretty sure that cabin has changed as well. Again, I don't really loop there, so I tend to forget. But going to cafeteria, automatically we can see that generator has moved into the middle. There is no vault at that window. And there's a crouch spot. They used to advocate for crouch spots a lot, so the fact that that's there is actually nuts. And then we have that vault right there instead of a break in the wall, and the vault being on the adjacent wall. And then we have a vault back here instead of a doorway and a vault, so that's fun. That bathroom hasn't changed at all, I'm pretty sure, like whatsoever. However, the cabin ahead of that has also not changed whatsoever. Those are completely the same, but I'm gonna go silent for a second. I just want you to look with your eyes. There is no cabin or anything whatsoever in this section. Killer cabin is like in the far corner, and there is nothing in that spot. It's wild. It's just a flat of empty space. You would have think they would have added more trees there or something, but that's Daybreak 1 for you. This cabin has also not really changed. At least not that much to what I can recall. Gay cabin has not changed at all. However, you go further towards Archery, and where's the orb in the sky? Where's the updated part? And where's this tree loop that's supposed to be right here that makes me mad all the time? It's just this flat of empty space. Going anywhere from Archery was a stamina burner, and being at Archery was actually considered like the easiest way to get down. If you push somebody to Archery to try to get to that cabin, you were cooked. And the only reason the orb was added in that section was for the Twisted Timelines chapter. It was never removed, so yeah, no, that infinite jungle gym-ish area right there is completely absent. We still have that tree over there in front of me though, to my left, and the one ahead of that, which is interesting. We don't have that bench loop over there towards bathroom though, which is fair, honestly. Because Daybreak 1 was more about stealth and handling generators, if anything. Looping was like your last resort sort of thing, but now looping's like like at all cases, like by any means necessary sort of thing. Daybreak 1, it was sort of like, do your generator, don't try to mock the killer, but that sort of thing. And that cabin too, oh. Actually, I think that cabin's been the same since Daybreak 1. I'm just giving it praise, because like, oh, okay. There is little to no break-ins whatsoever in that cabin. And it's beautiful. No break-ins whatsoever. And now I'm just exploring this side, trying to see if anything has really changed. However, nothing in this section was really changed at all. Aside from, I believe, that vault in the middle of that cabin I was previously in being added in Daybreak 2. Oh, okay, we're spazzing again. Oh. Calm down. Who hurt you? Hello? Huh? There's no vault right there. No vault right there. It's still spazzing out. The generator was pushed further up there, even though nowadays it's put in the middle, and that vault still exists. And I'm gonna just let you know, Docs has not changed at all. However, in all due respect, I really do hope to all of those Daybreak 2 new gens, not necessarily new gens, but those who joined during Daybreak 2 or Daybreak 2 Early Access only, I just want to provide some background on how balances used to be, or how balances has kind of accumulated over time. And granted, the balancing in this game sucks. I'm just gonna be completely honest. Some things are good, but like 60 to 80% of them are bad. But I don't want to look at the 80% that's bad. I want to look at the 20% that's good, and the ongoing dividend added onto that's making looping slightly better over time. I enjoy diving into the history of certain things, and this is just happens to be one of them. Now granted, do I agree with all the infinites and stuff that we have? No. It's odd, but that's a conversation for another day. If you are interested in hearing me rant about that, let me know. I want some discussion in this comment section though. What do you think had the most drastic map changes? What, in your opinion, feel like did not need as many map changes as it has now compared to what it had in Daybreak 1? And just, what's your favorite Daybreak map? Okay, what's your favorite Daybreak 2 map? And I also just want to say here now, I'm not going to put St. Anne's or Camp Clearwater in here because Clearwater version 1's not in rotation in this version. And B, St. Anne's had like little to no changes aside from maybe one thing in the middle and a thing in Graveyard, parking lot. And yeah, that's pretty much all that really changed in St. Anne's. Not too many things because it's like the oldest map. So yeah. Hope y'all like this. Love y'all. Stay creative. Peace.
This is a certified classic.